to lesson 22. In this lesson, we'll look at verbs of the third conjugation. Our phrase is dimittimus, we forgive. So we'll start with a quick recap of the conjugations you've already looked at. You've spent quite a bit of time on the first conjugation, and you've learned that the infinitive form ends in are, and that the distinguishing vowel is the letter A. You've also looked at the second conjugation and learned that the infinitive form ends in ere. You've learned that the distinguishing vowel for the second conjugation is the letter E. Now we're on to the third. Like the second conjugation, the infinitive form of these verbs ends in ere, so it may not be possible at first to tell them apart. However, there are two ways to distinguish third conjugation verbs from those of the second conjugation. The first way is by listening to or looking at how the infinitive is pronounced. A dictionary or whatever text you're using should indicate this using accent marks. For second conjugation infinitives, the emphasis is on the next to last syllable, the penultimate, whereas for third conjugation infinitives, the emphasis is on the third last syllable, called the antepenultimate. So here you can see two verbs ending in ere, sedere and dicere. Lines separate the syllables, and accent marks show which syllable needs to be emphasized. Since sedere is a second conjugation verb, the penultimate or next to last syllable is emphasized. Dicere is a third conjugation verb, so the antepenultimate, which is the next to last syllable, is the one that needs to be emphasized. Here's another example of a third conjugation verb. This one has 4 syllables. The accent, as we said, is on the antepenultimate syllable, so the word is pronounced concedere. The second way of telling whether a verb is of the second or third conjugation is to look at the first person singular form. If an E is present before the final O, then you're dealing with a second conjugation verb. Now here are our examples again, sedere and dicere. The first person singular of sedere is sedeo. An E precedes the personal pronoun ending O, therefore it's a second conjugation verb, and of course it means I sit. The first person singular of dicere is dicio. There is no letter E, so we know that it's a third conjugation verb. Here's the complete paradigm for conjugating verbs of the third conjugation, and this time I've used dimittere, to forgive. You can see that the first person singular ends in O, consistent with the rule we just learned. You can see that 4 of the forms feature the letter I before the personal pronoun endings, and that's because the distinguishing vowel of the third conjugation is the letter I. Third person plural ends in UNT, so it's not quite consistent with that rule, but something to be learned. And the fourth conjugation, just to make things a little more complicated, also has I for a distinguishing vowel. Okay, so this means that third conjugation verbs have something in common with the second conjugation, which is the ending of the infinitive is ere, but also something in common with the fourth conjugation, which is that they both have the letter I as their distinguishing vowel. It's all a bit confusing, but there is a solution, and of course that is to learn your paradigms by heart. Examples in our prayers of third conjugation verbs. Well, there are only 2 in the present tense. Dimittimus, we forgive, which is our phrase, And credo, I believe, and of course you've already come across that one. Vocabulary now, and we have 6 third conjugation verbs. Efficere, to make or render. Inducere, to lead in or bring in. Ascendere, to come or go up. Dimittere, to forgive. Concedere, to pardon or give up. Credere, to believe. For homework, there are some exercises in your text at the end of the lesson. There are a couple of supplementary exercises as well, and your drill schedule now includes the third conjugation. That's it from me. Until next time, goodbye and God bless.